Welcome to AI Predicts. In this video, I've put the three leading AI models in the world, Grok, ChatGPT and Gemini, all against each other and asked them to predict the upcoming AFCON quarter-final games. Then, when all the games have been played, we'll find out which model was most accurate. We've also put a real-life accumulator bet on based on the AI predictions, and if you comment on this video by the time the games have all been played, you're in with a chance of winning a split of that bet if it does come in. Just super quick before we kick off, I'd really appreciate it if you'd consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video. For a small channel like me, it really does mean a lot and goes a very long way. But without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay, so here are all of the predictions on screen. We'll have a quick run through those and then we'll see what we're going to put on the bet. So first up, we've got Mali versus Senegal, and Grok and ChatGPT are both predicting a 2-1 Senegal win, whereas Gemini is predicting a 2-0 Senegal win. So the through line there is clearly a Senegal win, so we'll take that into account. Just to quickly say, so what I did with the prompt here is obviously to say to them, is it going to be in 90 minutes extra time or is it going to go to penalties? So when you see just like a normal score here, like the 2-1, the 2-0, that is within the 90 minutes. So the next game is Cameroon versus Morocco. Grok and Gemini are both agreeing, and that is on a 2-1 Morocco win, whereas ChatGPT is predicting a 1-0 Morocco win. So again, we've got a through line there. Morocco win, that's going to go on the bet. Just to say, because there's only 4 bets, we're still doing an accumulator, but it's a bit of a shorter one. So with each one, we're going to do a bet builder and try and boost those odds a little bit. Moving on, we've got Nigeria versus Algeria, and all 3 models are perfectly aligned this time and predicting a 2-1 Nigeria win. So there is a very common theme there, all predicted the exact same score. Now with the bets, I really do like to stay away from correct score, but we will consider that when we put the bet on. And the final game, which is Egypt versus Cote d'Ivoire, or the Ivory Coast. And Grok is predicting a 1-1 draw, and then for Ivory Coast to win that on penalties. ChatGPT is predicting a 1-0 Egypt win, and Gemini is predicting a 2-1 Ivory Coast win. So we've got pretty much all the eventualities covered there for the result at least. Nothing in extra time though, but yeah, a bit of an interesting one that. It'd be a bit of a tough one to bet on, so we'll see what we can do. So talking of the bet, let's move on to that. So here it is, and we'll have a quick spin through it and give you some rationale as to why we've chosen what we've chosen, and then I'll briefly explain exactly how it works, the comment and then the money changing hands, and I'll quickly then after that explain to you what the prompt was that I used. So for the Mali-Senegal game, we have got Nicholas Jackson to score or assist, Sadio Mane and Ismail Assar at least to have 1 shot each, the amount of goals in the game to be 1 to 5, and Senegal to qualify. So we've sort of gone for the qualify rather than the 90 minutes result, just because that sort of gives us a little bit more chance to win and makes it a little bit more likely. So that came out at 8 to 5, which I don't think is too bad. The next one, which is Cameroon versus Morocco, we've got Brian Mbeumo and Brahim Diaz to at least have 1 shot on target each, Morocco to qualify, the amount of goals in the game to be 1 to 4, and both teams to score. That came out at 17 to 2, which I think is pretty good. So yeah, the next game, there was a bit of it's quite annoying actually on Bet365. So those first 2 games I've picked some like goal scorers and players to have shots and target. The next 2 games, which were Algeria versus Nigeria and Egypt versus Ivory Coast, didn't allow me to have any sort of player specific bets, which is quite frustrating. I was going to put like maybe like a Mohamed Salah goal or something like that. It just didn't allow me to do. I don't know why, maybe it was too soon, but that was a bit annoying. But anyway, so for the Nigeria-Algeria game, we've put Nigeria to qualify and for in the game there to be over 1 goal. We didn't have too many options, which was a bit frustrating, as I said. That came out at 13 to 10. Not bad, but I would have liked to sort of elaborate a bit more on that and pick some more sort of types of betting markets, as it were. And the last game, we've got a double chance for it to be a draw or Ivory Coast within the 90 minutes. And for there to be over 2 goals in the game, that came out at 3 to 1. So, you know, not terrible, but I'd have liked to put maybe, you know, like a Mohamed Salah goal or a Amad Diallo shot on target, something like that, but we weren't able to do that, unfortunately. However, it still came out the return on a £1 stake at £227.24, which isn't, you know, it's not too bad. So then, yeah, so if that does come in and we get lucky, All you have to do is comment on this video before all the games have been played, and I'll pick them out at random. It won't be first come, first serve, so comment whenever, because we've got sort of international viewers, so it's sort of not really fair. Some people might get a head start. It will be randomly selected, and what I'll do is I'll just let you know that you've been selected, and then we can exchange whatever you're most comfortable with, whether it's email addresses or maybe like a Discord or something like that, WhatsApp, whatever's best for you. And then if you're comfortable sharing your bank details with me, I'll just simply send the money over to you. So that's how that'll work. And now I'm going to briefly explain the prompt. Okay, so here are the predictions in their list form from the AI models themselves. The only reason I don't include the whole prompt is because it's like a multi-layered approach. I've toyed with the idea of doing sort of like a screen grab video, but it sort of takes a bit too long, and I think it'd be a little bit boring for me to just talk over that for like 2 minutes. So I'll just explain it here. So what I do is I ask all the models the same thing, and that is to predict for this example, AFCON games. Use current data, live form, injury lists, previous results, and like more recent results as well. I then ask them to consider underdogs, anomalies, if a certain team sort of has another team's number, or if one is a good underdog against a specific team. If a particular game throws up stats like both teams always score, or this is a low scoring game normally. I'll ask them then to cross-reference all of that, and then all things considered, what is the most likely outcome? And that is basically the end of the video. I just want to say quickly, if you did watch up to this point, thank you very, very much. I really do appreciate that. It means a lot for a small channel like me. And while you're here, if I could just ask you to subscribe to the channel and like the video if you haven't already, I'll be very, very grateful for that indeed. So get your comments in, but thank you very much for watching. Take it easy. Good luck to us, and I'll see you in the next one.